Greetings, brothers and sisters. Hello, and welcome back to Eva's House of Spirit. Tonight, I thought I would talk about mangoes, the magical associations of mangoes, because as far as I've seen out there, there's not too much material out there that I've found on the associations of this lovely fruit. But I mean, I think, there's a lot of potential in mangoes, where they can relate to magical workings and so on and so forth. So I started kind of looking around online a little bit. From what I have seen, the associations of mangoes are love, sex, fertility, pleasure, prosperity, luck, wish fulfillment, peace, harmony, and enlightenment, likely due to the fact that Buddha found harmony and reclined in a mango grove. Also, there's sort of an element of transition and change, and the reason why I say this is that being that mangoes are related to, for example, sex and fertility, and therefore can be seen as connected to birth and the creation of life, we then have to also understand that by extension, mangoes would then also be related to death, which eventually, follows, life. When we're born, we live our lives, and then eventually we're all going to die. Nothing, nothing, and no one lasts forever. Well, the whole thing with the birth and death, death happens and then life happens, and then after life, comes death again, and so on and so forth. It's this great wheel, this great cycle of life, and mango kind of has a connection to that. And the life and death, we can see this as, the birth and the dying, transitions. Something ends and something else begins. Things that begin all eventually end, and so on and so forth. It's a great cycle. So yeah, I see mangoes also as related to transitions, change, in a sense, mangoes are sort of, they sort of symbolize sacred thresholds. They are sort of between life and death. They more allude to the life aspect, but because life cannot exist without death, I think that mangoes must have an association also with death in some way, but death as an agent of change, if that makes sense. So yeah, also I found that mangoes have they can have an association with status. They're a symbol, I guess, because they're a symbol of prosperity, well-being, and so on and so forth. They are a status symbol in a way. And they can also be a symbol of hospitality. If you're a wealthy person and, let's say you want to extend, your hospitality to someone, you send them mangoes, as in like a lot of stories in history and whatever. Or, you have great mango groves because, you are well off, and so on and so forth. And it's just a symbol of, prosperity, fertility, bounty, that kind of thing. I'm not obviously an expert on like the symbolism and the associations of mangoes. These are just the associations and symbolism that I found in my initial looking into this. And I think knowing that mangoes have connections with, love, pleasure, sex, fertility, prosperity, luck, hospitality, wish fulfillment, transition, change, peace, harmony, and enlightenment, knowing that these are some aspects of what mango is associated with, and therefore what kind of magical workings we might incorporate mango into. Knowing this is something that, hey, take this and run with it. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Knowledge is power, and knowing the connection something has symbolically to something else, or the meaning of something, or, what something can allude to, knowing that, you can take that correspondence that you've discovered and you can apply that in so many different ways in your work. I will say though that online I did find I forget which website this is from, but I've linked a few websites in the description of this video with some articles, and I also linked a video on how to sprout your own mango seed if you choose to try. But anyway, somewhere in my searching around, I did see that mango wood and mango leaves, you shouldn't burn them because it actually that creates toxic fumes, which can cause severe ailments to the lungs and eyes. So if you're going to use mango, let's say in incense or something, I would stay away from the leaves and the wood. Maybe, I mean, I don't know if you would want to try something like drying the skins, but if you're going to add that to incense, I would say add only a very small amount. Um, you know, use a very small amount, and I don't even know if that's okay, because if there are compounds in the wood and the leaves that when burned could create like toxicity and reactions, I would be a little wary even using mangoes in any sort of way related to incense. But that doesn't mean to say that you can't dry, let's say, mango skins and maybe put that into a mojo or a bottle spell or a doll or something, for some of its associative qualities, for some of its, inherent energies, or that's not to say you can't necessarily sprinkle dried mango somewhere, or that you couldn't, let's say, create a petition paper and put it underneath a mango that you sprouted growing in dirt, so that as the mango grows and the roots grow around the petition, it kind of manifests the energy of the spell. It grows, and so the spell continues to grow. I mean, you could maybe do something like that. That's just a suggestion. But yeah, I would be careful about burning. Anything relating to the mango, the wood, the leaves. I don't know about the skin. I mean, if you're going to try something like that, I would be very careful and cautious. I would also do a little more research on this too. Because again, I'm no expert on this. I just initially started doing some research into this because I thought, you know what? I want to know. What are mangoes good for? They do have their place. Everything has a potential to be a magical, tool or ingredient if you really think about it. Anything, just, I don't think there's anything that cannot be used. So, anyhow, the point of this video is just to get you all thinking about mangoes. And, you can even do, let's say in kitchen witchery, you incorporate mango into foods you're creating with magical intent behind them, knowing that mangoes have, again, associations with love, sex, fertility, pleasure, prosperity, luck, wish fulfillment, hospitality, transition, change, peace, harmony, or enlightenment. And again, these may not even be all of the associations. There may be more associations to mango that I am not yet aware of. I encourage you maybe to look into the symbolism, the associations, etc. of mango. Find out, hey, maybe there's something else to mango that I have not yet stumbled upon. But again, this video is about getting everyone to maybe get mango in your consciousness. Think about it. Like, what can mango do for you? What can mango do for your spell work? What is the potential that you can use mango, to achieve, what ends can you achieve via the mango? Because everything, again, has a purpose, a place, an energy, an application. It's just a matter of finding one or a few that work for you. I hope that makes sense, what I'm trying to say, so there's that I wanted to share with you all. And I was eating a mango just a little bit ago, and I managed to extract this mango seed from the middle of the big pit. At first I was going to clean the pit and just save the pit, but then somehow I managed to kind of get the pit open, and out came this big thing that looks like a crazy looking bean, and I managed to get it out without damaging it. And I've linked a video in the description of this one, along with the articles that I've included regarding mango and mythology and all that kind of stuff. And, the video tells how to successfully sprout a mango seed the first time you try. And I'm going to try to sprout this. Obviously, it's probably going to be an indoor plant because, I'm going to have to grow my mango tree indoors because our winters are pretty bad. So I don't know. I mean, or maybe I can grow it outside for the warmer months and then, bring it in or something for the cooler months when it's really harsh out there because our winters get crazy. But I'm gonna try. You know what? I like doing experiments with nature and things like that. There was one time I did an experiment to see if I could raise a monarch butterfly on some milkweed, and I sent away for milkweed seeds, got it, planted the milkweed. Um, and lucky for me, a monarch butterfly really did come along and lay an egg, and we got a little caterpillar, and then the caterpillar made a little chrysalis, and I made like a little enclosure using window screen. I made like a little thing to protect the caterpillar so birds wouldn't come along and eat it. And we successfully raised a monarch butterfly. That was one experiment I did. Recently, I also did an experiment with five-finger grass with cinquefoil to see if I could sprout roots from the little buds that there's like two little root buds that on the sections of the shoots that it creates, there are little bumps underneath, and if you can carefully balance the segments that you cut from those shoots into water, where the leaves are not in the water, but the little buds kind of are, you can actually like root it in water. It's actually really cool, and I did succeed at that. Um, so that's like another experiment that I did. I like to do sort of natural experiments like this to see if I can do things, because hey, how do you know if you don't try? So I'm gonna try and sprout my mango seed using the information that I got in the video that I will be sharing in the description. And I'll keep you all updated on how that mango grows, and that's gonna be kind of cool. And I will be doing more research, looking into the meaning, the mythology, the associations, and the qualities of mango, and I will be incorporating mango more into my magical work. I just think, something like this, I think here in the West, we kind of overlook things like this because it's not, these don't just grow everywhere. And I don't know, it's more of like a tropical thing. I think people in cultures that are, more, how can I say it? People from cultures that originate in like more tropical or warmer regions where mangoes kind of just grow. Maybe they feel more of a connection spiritually, magically, whatever, to the mango, and so they, maybe it just kind of comes more natural to them. But I think here in the West, in Western regions, like where mangoes don't like grow naturally for us very well because our winters are pretty crazy, I think we don't have as much of a connection to the mango or to certain like tropical fruits that I think, hey, maybe if we explore those, we can discover a lot. We can learn a lot that we may not even have realized what we were missing. So yeah, this is my video on the magic of mangoes, or the magical association of mangoes, I should say, and the meaning, the mythology. Well, actually, I'm not even going into the mythology because you know what? I don't know about the mythology very well. But I have, again, there's some articles linked in the description of this video you may want to check out regarding mythology and mangoes and, like, stuff like that. But yeah, I hope I've kind of stirred your mind about mangoes and their potential. And if you have any comments, questions, thoughts, feelings, anything to share, add, or in any way contribute or bring forward, I welcome you to, put that in the comment box. I will do my best to address anything that you bring forward. And until our next exchange, I wish you blessed be and Ashe. Have a great night and stay awesome. Bye-bye for now.